Hi, Coach. You knew higher scoring game the first game, and then more evenly scored the second game. Just how did you feel to go into Minnesota State and be able to take 3 points and play tight games with them?
Well, I think it probably shows some growth of our group. That's a really good hockey club. And I was talking to our seniors, and I think they've said they've beat them once, maybe in their time. We talked to the guys, how important it is to you got to tilt the ice at some point and claw back. I know it was a shootout win, but for a lot of our guys, I think it continues to show proof in what we're doing. And our guys didn't quit. We battled, we competed. They're a top 20 team, 15, 16, I think where they're kind of at, and pretty even game. I think throughout the game, there's a lot of different flows. There's times they hemmed us in our zone pretty good. There's times we took it to them pretty good. And I think both goalies, with Jacob Steinman and Alex Tracy, they stood on their head. So it's, it was a really good weekend for us. We obviously want more points. I don't want to sit here and also, pat us on the back. Like, we still go out there to win hockey games, and two ties is what we got. But at the end of the day, we got to continue to pull the positives out of it and build for this coming weekend.
Yeah, 4 games in a row now, two against Bemidji and two against Minnesota State that have gone into overtime and past it in some cases. So how do you feel like the resilience of your group has been so far this year and how they've handled the pressure?
Well, it's been really, really good. And I think it just gives, again, more credit to how, the parity in the CCHA is, the parity across college hockey. You're seeing it each and every night. There's not, I said we've played 6 CCHA games now. One game was 4-1 over Lake State, our first game, and every other game was one goal, off it, 3-2, and the rest were all overtime. So there's a very small separation from top to bottom. You saw Fair State this weekend go out and split with Augustana. I'm sure most people watching it probably would have thought Augustana would have swept that. But it just, again, goes to what I think is good parity, good coaching, good recruiting, and it makes the league very difficult to play in.
Noah Morneau, CCHA Rookie of the Week this week, had 2 goals in the first game. Didn't score, but very nice shifts in the second game. Just how have you felt about his performance through the early goings of the season?
Noah's been really good. Just consistent, right? Like, he just brings it every day. Continues to, push himself outside of the comfort zone. Continue to gain trust with the coaching staff. He's done really well in the face-off circle for us as well. And, for him, he's being rewarded, by playing some extra minutes. We're relying on him on the bumper and the power play in the one unit. We're looking at him on the penalty kill as well. So the one thing with Noah is he's earned everything he's got, and I say that to everybody. More and more guys can just see his consistency to his game, He doesn't try to overdo it or overcomplicate it. Kind of the mindset of, let's live to fight another day. You don't ever see him kind of toe dragging at the blue line or anything. It's a real simple north-south, use my speed to drive wide, which he does. He releases pucks well. He gets good on first puck touches. He does good in the face-off circle. He's an excellent teammate. And it was great to see him be rewarded this year for the CCHA Freshman of the Week.
Coach, coming back home this weekend, facing Fair State, what are you going to look at? What are you going to look for out of your team this weekend against the Bulldogs?
Just keep building. We're not. We got a lot to learn. We got a lot to continue to grow into. But I like where we're going. But that doesn't mean it's just gonna. We just can't put on our skates and expect that we're gonna keep challenging for tight games or winning hockey games. Like, we have to continue to get better, and our job as coaches is keep raising the benchmark. I've seen our group right now do improve week to week, and that's what we've said since day one. We got to continue to improve week to week. But now the hard part is not take a step back. And you see a lot of teams, they do it, right? It happens. But then how quickly can we, forget about it and move on? But for our guys right now, obviously they're feeling confident about their game. I said you have to have that air of confidence to you, but not to get to the point where you're cocky, because at the end of the day, our record still indicates who we are. We're a 2-3-3 hockey club, and that's what we are. And that's what, unless we want to change it, we got to make sure we're, again, staying close to, or staying true to our details, our habits of the game, our structure of the game. And then again, making sure that at the end of the day, we're putting ourselves in the right position to try to win hockey games. So it's going to be a tough challenge. They're coming off a 2-0 win, and we're coming off a weekend where we feel good about ourselves. We got two teams feeling good about their game.
Breck McKinley had 2 assists on Friday night's game. He has 6 assists on the year, currently leads the team in assists, and has already tied his career high for assists in a season. What have you seen out of him so far this season?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I think Breck's being a junior, he's got to keep taking steps, off it. Obviously, it's a great accomplishment for him, to be able to contribute offensively, but the one thing we always say with our guys is don't let the offense side dictate your defensive side, off it. But one thing Breck does is he has good feet, good vision. When he's playing on his toes, he's really effective, and he can get up ice and make simple plays. And I've been real happy with Breck's game, throughout, and that's nothing to do with points. If you didn't tell me that, I would never even know. I haven't looked at a stat sheet all. I couldn't tell you who our leading goal scorer is. You just told me he's our leading assist guy, and I don't think he's on one of our power plays right now. So maybe we got to relook at that, right? So I just think for us, it's all your play without the puck, to me. And if you do good things, the puck will follow you. And, it's showing to Breck's case. He's playing some really good hockey, and good things are happening. He's being rewarded for his honest hockey game.
And Coach, going throughout the year now, we're a little bit more into it. How do you handle the mental strain with all the guys in the locker room?
How do I handle it, or how do they?
How do you teach them to handle it?
Yeah, good question. Because their job is to make my life difficult and pick a lineup, right? I think for a lot of them, here's what I tell them is, how do you separate from everybody? Why does a coach need you in the lineup every night? And there's different ways around it. I try to tell guys. So you got, your 2 power play units, right? So say all week you work on 2 power play units. That's 10 guys. They're probably over here in the lineup. And then you start working your back end out, and then you look at your centerman. And then it's like you start to roll into it. And Curtis Carr, who's our associate at coach, runs our penalty kill, is that, does he need you in the lineup because you're a fixture in the penalty killing unit? So I always say to guys, you have to find a niche and a reason why to be in the lineup. And if not, you just kind of go in the mixer with everybody else, and that's not a bad thing, but you got to try to separate to be a fixture. When we sit down and talk lineup, it's always the one thing I always ask guys, why do we need him? Like to our staff, why do we need this player in the lineup? Well, we need him because he's a centerman. He's good on faceoffs. He's 62%. He's a fixture on our penalty kill. Kurt says, perfect. He goes in. And if you don't have that fixture, you kind of just, you got to find it. And I always say it's okay to be selfish when it comes to ice time like that. And when I say ice time, though, it's not taking 50, 60-second shifts. It's taking, players' ice time and becoming a constant in our lineup. So that's always the challenge for our guys. You got a lot of guys coming in, it's their first go-around. It's like the first time they went to junior hockey. They leave midget hockey or bantam hockey and they go to junior hockey in the CHL or USHL or North American, wherever they go. They're kind of now the young guy again. So you got a lot of freshmen coming in that are having to learn how to play hard, heavy minutes, play without the puck, play against older, bigger guys, play against the physicality, the battles of practice all week, schooling, workouts. There's a lot, off it. So it's good growth for our team, though.
And watching Ferris State so far this season, what have you noticed so far in their style of play that you can take advantage of? I'm
going to watch them this afternoon. So right now, Monday's been our focus on us, until Tuesday morning. We wrap up our 5-on-5s today, meetings, and power play, penalty kill. And now I flipped the switch. I watched a little bit. But I probably can't give you a true answer. But maybe tomorrow I can give you that. But this is our afternoon where we dive into them pretty hard.
Online folks, Peter, any questions?
Yeah. Hey, Coach. Good weekend. Jacob Steinman's numbers are looking pretty good, and I know you're a bit of a advanced stats guy. Have you had a chance to look at his advanced numbers yet and see how well they're doing? Because I'm pretty impressed with them so far.
Yeah. he played really well this weekend. Both goalies, right? It came down to a duel there on Saturday, and good for him. Got thrown in there early, midway through that first period on Friday, which isn't easy. Was able to kind of weather the storm for us. We were able to salvage a 6-on-5 goal, but he made some big saves in overtime there to get us to the shootout, which gives us a tie on a national ranking. And same the next night when both goalies only let in one. It's a real a goalie duel, I'd say more than anything. So he was confident. He was aggressive. His rebound control was really good, and a huge reason why we got those two ties. And I think if you look at both sides of it, it's probably because of both goalies in the net there, off it. And so I was really happy for him. That's not an easy venue to go into or to get thrown in cold like that. But he did a really nice job of kind of settling us down and allowing us to get back to playing our style of hockey.
That's it. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks.